A week before Christmas Day, and a fire has torn through about 1,000 shacks in the Masiphumelele informal settlement in Cape Town. The wildfire has left scores of families destitute. eNCA's Monique Mortlock is on the ground and working that particular story. So, Masiphumelele, part of those informal settlements, Monique, there is no stranger to fires gutting, and raising structures there. And it's happened again once more at this time. What are city officials saying about that particular fire?
What's happening at the moment is city officials are on the scene at the site where we were a little earlier, where the fire took place, just assessing the extent of the fire, assessing how many families have been impacted. Behind me, I'm outside the community hall here in Masiphumelele, where city officials are doing COVID screening, as well as just noting down the details of the families that have been impacted, to ensure that when donations start coming in, that they can do a fair and equal distribution of those resources. But to chat to us more about what the City of Cape Town is doing following this devastating fire, I have with me Cape Town Mayor Dan Plato. Sir, tell me, what are the next steps just in terms of relief efforts? Over 1,000 structures have been damaged, thousands of people affected.
Yeah, well over 4,000 people affected and displaced as a result of the devastating fire. But what will happen today and tomorrow, we will have to clear the site, we will have to clear the debris, remove it from off-site, so that we could move in with our informal settlement teams with starter kits, so that people can begin to rebuild their structures. And we believe we will have to do that for the next 2 days. And from Sunday up to Monday, the new structures will arrive, and for people to do the rebuilding. And obviously, human settlement of the City of Cape Town disaster management will assist with that macro process. I'm very pleased with the relief aid we received from all quarters in this valley, this whole precinct. I want to thank the public, I want to thank the businesses of this area for their dramatic assistance. Also the NGOs, they're doing absolutely sterling work, and they're working hand in hand with the City of Cape Town's officials to bring the necessary relief to the public out here.
Right now, we've seen those NGOs at work in providing porridge, in providing some form of relief in terms of just sandwiches, cool drinks, and so on. From the city side, is the city providing any in terms of food, temporary shelter? What has been done?
The first, let me put it, the first consignment of food did arrive at the Living Hope Centre already. There's another smaller centre, the Methodist Church here, situated in Masiphumelele, but we make use of these two entities to make sure that the food gets distributed in a coordinated manner, that each and every household receive what they are supposed to receive at least. But it's a macro coordinated approach, and I inspect that. I'm on my way from here to Living Hope as well, and to see to that operation that it is underway. And with what I've seen, and even behind us with the screening of the residents, who's the families, what are their names, who is involved, out of the over 1,000 people or families screened so far, 500 have been done since this morning up till now successfully. So the latter part of the screening will happen this afternoon, and I think the whole 1,000 will be done by closure today.
And my final question, I spoke to Councillor Malusi Boy about it a little earlier, the fact that due to budget cuts, the city saying that it now has to go through the red tape, the process of declaring a local disaster, getting through that red tape along with Western Cape government. It could take up to 72 hours. What do you foresee? How will this impact future disasters, future possible shack fires, floods?
Look, we engage National Department of Human Settlements. Councillor Malusi Boy talked to the National Minister earlier this morning, and he did give me the necessary feedback that the Minister is officially informed of the situation here in Masiphumelele. And obviously, I will write my own letters to the National Minister to see what we can do with regard to the issue of a provision of the starter kits. Many of the people down here are so poor, there is no way they would be able to provide housing for themselves. There will always be a large portion of people dependent on the state, dependent on government, regardless if it is national, provincial or local government. And it's exactly what you see down here as well. So, but that is for in the next couple of days. After my visit down here, I will rush back to my office to sign the necessary declaration of this localized disaster papers so that I can forward it through the necessary channels with provincial government. I had talks with Western Cape MEC for local government, Anton Bredel, already, and all those processes is currently in place. Yes, unfortunately governmental processes take a little bit of time, but at the end of the day we're working very, very hard to shorten time periods and that sort of thing for the benefit of the public. I walk through the site, I talk to the public, I explain to them, and the public trusts us, and that is very, very important. The public is well aware of the time frames, they accept the time frames, and it's for me and the city manager to make sure that there is no delay with regard to the provision of all the necessary aid packages the people down here deserve.
Thank you very much. That was Cape Town Mayor Dan Plato speaking there about that emergency relief funds that the city is trying to access as soon as possible, and definitely the thousands of people who've been affected waiting on that relief. But for now, the members of the public are being asked to donate essential items, to drop those essential items of food, clothing, non-perishable food, clothing, baby items, to drop it off at the Living Hope headquarters, which is situated as you come to Masiphumelele, opposite Food Zone.
Yeah, thank you for that, Monique Motlock there. And an important step there being announced by the Mayor, Dan Plato, there about the declaration of a localized disaster area to try and unlock all the aid that the city of Cape Town and other authorities can get to those people who've been affected by that fire. Let's